Welcome back to another episode of Watch Wednesday, presented by USAA. I'm here today with
Cameron Jones.
Cameron. It's great to see you.
Good to see you.
We've had a good time watching you all season
Thank
on
you.
the pitch. Tell us about yourself, where you're from, how you got into soccer, what kind of led your choices to get here to VMI.
Okay. I've been playing soccer my entire life. So I'm from Richfield, Washington, a small-ish, getting a little bit bigger town in Southwest Washington. I'm one of four girls, so I have an older sister, Paige, twin sister Claire, and a little sister Elizabeth, and I live with my mom and dad on a blackberry farm. Um, I think I got into soccer when I was like 2 years old. At least that's the age I've usually been told. My older sister did it, so following her footsteps, me and Claire started playing soccer and just kind of like loved it. Tried other sports, basketball, swimming, all that good stuff, tennis in the summers, but soccer just kind of stuck. Me and my twin sister Claire wanted to take it competitively around like third grade. We started doing that, just going as high as we could, the highest level, realizing we wanted to play in college. And then in regards to VMI, I was at a showcase, and I believe it was ECNL, Florida. The coach at the time saw me, heard that I was interested in the military, and was like, all right, let's give her a shot. I definitely wasn't the first interest, as I had no idea what VMI was, being from the West Coast. But I tore my ACL my junior year of high school, and everything kind of fell into place. It was all the Lord's plan, and that's why I'm here. So.
Awesome. Good stuff. Well, coming from out west, has there been challenges coming this far away from home? Because, I'm also from out west, so always people had questions like, isn't it super hard for you to, like, leave the whole West Coast
Yeah.
because now you're 2,000 miles away from your family?
For sure, it has its challenges. I think being at VMI, it's definitely a blessing, because not like as a rat, you can't leave. So I was kind of seeing my parents at rat year at least as much as anybody else. Might like maybe even more because you have to make such a journey over here. You kind of like plan ahead. Um, but yeah, it has its challenges. I definitely got homesick. I'm a family girl. I love my family. Very close with them, so that was really hard. I think the hardest part was being away from my twin sister for sure. But I'm kind of embracing being on the the East Coast. Embracing being away from the West Coast and just everything it has to offer out here. I love Virginia. It's very similar to Washington in a lot of ways. Getting a little bit of that Southern hospitality, the yes man, yes sir, took some getting used to. But yeah, it's an adjustment. Getting home's a struggle. I've flown out of multiple airports, and I'm using a lot of my friends, which I'm very grateful for. But I love it out here, and I definitely wouldn't have wanted it any other way.
Awesome. Well, tell us about, like, take us through kind of a day in the life of you as both a D1 athlete, as at a military school, and obviously being a full-time student.
Okay. I'll take you through like my Mondays because sometimes I feel like those are my most military days. Um, in regards to just what we do on the hill. So I'll wake up like 6:15, 6 a.m. just depending on the day. Have to get up, put my hay on the rail, which everyone at VMI knows what that is. But if you're not from VMI, we put our beds on the rail and like air them out, which is kind of interesting. But it's nice. Put it on the rail, get ready for inspection. I'll go out to the Bricks, which is where we form up every morning for breakfast roll call or BRC. I'm there about 15 minutes early, or try to get there 15 minutes early before the rats come. I'm on Cadre, so I spend the first 15 minutes of my morning yelling at rats, which is kind of fun. Definitely wakes you up. Then we do inspection. We march down. I eat with the rats. And then from 8 to 9, we either have rat training or we have academic time where we can kind of do what we want. Then from 9 till about, I think my last class ends at 2:50, I'm in class. I have a brief break for lunch. And then after 2:50, get back to my room, chill for maybe 30 minutes, maybe get a nap in if I'm lucky. And then I will head down to practice from 4:15 to 6. Depends on if we have a game the night before or not. Sometimes we'll have the day off, which is really nice. Sometimes we'll have practice if we don't have a game that Sunday. On days that we do have practice, we practice from 4:15 to 6:30, and then we'll lift from like 6 to 7. It kind of depends, but athletics don't get done until about 7 o'clock. Then I have evening formation with the soccer team. And then academics from about like 8:30 to whenever I get them done. So pretty jam packed. It's dependent on the day as far as practice and lift and all that, but it's definitely busy.
Yeah, that would. I mean, I can imagine it's pretty difficult to have everything kind of scheduled out for you, not to have a ton of freedom, but also it's probably a nice release to be able to come out here for a
Yeah.
couple hours a day to get away from school and military stuff to be able to kind of do what you grew up doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine that's pretty nice. So you mentioned you've been playing soccer for a long time.
Mhm.
Give us your favorite career memory.
Oh, my favorite career moment. Man, I have a lot of good ones. Let's see. Trying to think if it's gonna be at VMI or if it's back home. I'd probably have to say, and it's not really like a moment, but my sophomore year of high school was the only year I got to play with my older sister and my twin sister Claire. And although it wasn't a moment and there was nothing super exciting about it, it was a COVID year. That's something I cherish. I was injured my freshman year. I had foot surgery, so I wasn't able to play with my older sister. But you can't get time like that back, and I don't think any trophy or medal or accolade can like truly top that moment and that feeling of just like being on the field with both my sisters. So
Yeah. Family girl here. We love
yeah.
it. So you spoke about your twin sister. Does
Yes.
she play college soccer? What does she do?
Yes. So Claire, she originally played at Oregon State University, and then she transferred last year after her fall season at Oregon State to Southern Methodist University, so SMU in Dallas. She's playing there now, and yeah, she's a stud. So
Awesome.
definitely look up to her. She's 7 minutes older, but I do look up to her, especially with soccer. So
Big shout out to the the big sister here.
the 7 whole minutes.
Let me look at my list real fast for us.
No worries.
You got a favorite kind of drill workout that you guys get to do out here? Specifically, I guess this season.
I love the passing patterns.
Okay.
I like structure, I like repetition. I think doing the little things right is really what makes you a great soccer player. And Coach Jim and Coach Foss are also very in agreement with that. And so if we have any session with some passing patterns and possession, then I'm a happy girl. I can't really complain.
Okay.
I'm a defender, so the shooting drills are fun. 1v1s, they're like a love-hate relationship. Throw those in there, but definitely passing and possession.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, and as a defender, it gets pretty physical out there, right? You're bumping, you're shoving.
Yeah.
I remember in my college days, I was a little afraid of the girls on the back line for our soccer team. They were always a little bit bigger than I was too. So, I mean, those girls are usually pretty hardcore. Let's see. What was that one? Yeah, I like that one. Soccer is a very universally played sport.
Mhm.
How do you feel like it's transitioned both lessons wise and like physically into your life as a cadet and just life as a whole?
Yeah, I think soccer teaches you a lot about life. I've had coaches that have said that repeatedly. Being on a team, you're with a bunch of individuals that some girls you've known your whole life, and then some girls met them on the first day of tryouts, and you're like, hey, we're teammates now. I think it really helps you to adapt and overcome with different personalities and different ways of viewing life and beliefs and come together for a common goal, which translates perfectly not only into life, but also into the military side of things. I think the game is fluid and it's ever changing and it's never going to give you the same situation twice. And, life in the military is a lot similar to that. It's how can you adapt, overcome, think quickly, and make decisions. Even if it's not the right decision, just make a decision. And I think in a lot of ways it's taught me that. And then lastly, it's just hard work. I think soccer's a great example of you get what you put out of it. And if you put the time and you put the work in, you're going to get better. It may not always be replicated in the minutes you're receiving or the teams you get put on or whatnot, the results you're getting. But hard work will pay off. And even if it doesn't translate on the field, it will translate in other areas. And I just think if you want something, like go after it and give it everything you got. And, that's a lesson I think I'll forever be grateful for soccer because I don't know if I would have learned that anywhere else.
Awesome. Well, wrapping up here. You got anything else to say to the fans, the supporters, or the haters?
The haters? Oh, gosh. I don't know. Just go be my WOSOC to all my family, my sisters, and family back home on the West Coast. I love you guys. And go class of 2027, Rob Virginia Mill.
Raw Virginia Mill.